We are here to honor you, our veterans. We want to remember your achievements, your courage, and your dedication, to say thank you for your sacrifices and your courage. Some of you chose military service, while others were chosen by the draft. Some saw comrades fall, some celebrated hard-won victories, some have wounds visible and invisible. Your families sacrificed too, sending you away and somehow carrying on in your absence. This event is one small way to let you know that we honor you for it all. No matter whether you faced horrific combat on the ground or served as the company clerk, repaired the trucks in the motor pool, or flew planes over Vietnam, were sent to Afghanistan or Alabama, served decades ago or last year, you are all part of something larger than yourself, a vast company of Americans who valued the idea of service enough to step forward and say, yes, I will serve. We as a nation have not always shown our gratitude to our soldiers, but here, as a gathering of students, Rotarians, and your family and friends, we show it now. One of the best ways we can thank you is to be sure that continuing generations are aware of what you did. So in addition to honoring you for what you have already done, we ask you to do one thing more: teach. You may know that the motto of Rotary Club is service above self. So honoring our local veterans for their military service is a natural fit. The Acton-Boxborough Veterans Breakfast began as a conversation between Rotarian Bud Flannery and high school teacher Mary Price Maddox about creating an event for veterans and wondering whether students would like to be involved. The answer is a resounding yes. The 120 students you see here have sent the invitations, raised funds, and planned the program. The sign-up sheet on Ms. Maddox's door is filled and overfilled within minutes. Why? To say thank you, to show respect to you who have served our country, and to learn a little bit about what it was like to serve. So by answering their questions, you continue to serve, and once again we thank you. But first, because you served them, they and members of the Rotary Club of Acton-Boxborough will serve you. Thank you, and enjoy your breakfast. Next, I would like to introduce to you Atharva Kasar, President of the Honor Society.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Atharva Kasar, and I'm the president of the Raymond J. Gray chapter of the National Honor Society. On behalf of the National Honor Society, we would like to welcome you all to the 6th annual Acton-Boxborough Veterans Day Breakfast. Throughout the summer and into the fall, a lot of planning has occurred behind the scenes in preparation for this event. Students from NHS have approached businesses in our community to ask for donations, and many have generously sponsored tables. Families in our community have also shown an overwhelming amount of support in helping us thank our veterans. We would like to acknowledge the generous donations we have received, both from businesses and families in our community. The list of those who have donated have been printed on the back of the program cards that you've received. We understand that a handful of donations were received after the programs were printed, so the names of those that are not on the programs will be on the red and blue placards that are on the tables that you've sponsored. We truly could not have done this without your financial support. As the NHS has fundraised for this breakfast over the last few months, we recognize just how important an event the Veterans Day Breakfast is for our community, which translates into the willingness for families and businesses to donate. Seeing so many folks willingly support us in our endeavors really warms our hearts. The Veterans Day Breakfast means so much more to all of us than simply serving a breakfast for a morning. It is an opportunity for us to express our gratitude for those who have served, an opportunity for veterans to share tales and stories, tragedies, and especially victories of their lives. It is an opportunity to create an intergenerational bond with amazing people, helping us gain a newfound appreciation for those who risk their lives to protect ours. The Veterans Day breakfast is not even a fraction of the respect and gratitude that veterans deserve from us. But we hope that being able to honor and celebrate these wonderful people on this day is the beginning that we can use to appreciate them each and every day. Now, to begin, please stand as you are able as the AB Madrigals perform our national anthem. Now, let us continue with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now like to welcome the Vice President of the National Honor Society, Kate Betez, to lead us in the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here today for this special event. On behalf of all the volunteers here, it is an absolute honor to say thank you to these veterans for their service. The veterans in this room embody the traits that all youth should hope to attain: courage, leadership, strength, and loyalty. Each of these traits should not and do not go unnoticed as we come here today to celebrate them. Let us remember the power that comes from unity, the strength that we possess when working together. Let us realize that we owe our freedom and safety to those sitting here with us today and to the other 25 million Americans who have selflessly served our nation. Let us pledge to take the spirit of this day with us and make it a part of every day. May God bless our veterans, and may God continue to bless America. Amen. I would now like to introduce Connor Champagny, one of our fundraising co-chairs, please be seated, too. I would now like to introduce Connor Champagny, one of our fundraising co-chairs, to speak in remembrance of those who cannot be with us today.
As you entered the room, you may have noticed a special table. It is reserved to honor our missing men. Set for 6, the empty chairs represent Americans who were or are missing from each of the services: Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard, and civilians, all with us in spirit. All Americans should never forget the brave men and women who answered our nation's call and served the cause of freedom in a special way. Let me explain the meaning of this table, and then join me for a moment of silent reflection. The table is round to show our everlasting concern. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call to serve. The single red rose reminds us of the lives of these Americans and their loved ones and friends who keep the faith while seeking answers. The yellow ribbon symbolizes our continued uncertainty, hope for their return, and determination to account for them. A slice of lemon reminds us of their bitter fate, captured and missing in a foreign land. A pinch of salt symbolizes the tears of our missing and their families, who long for answers after decades of uncertainty. The lighted candle reflects our hope for their return, alive or dead. The glass is inverted to symbolize their inability to share a toast. The chairs are empty. They are missing. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome all students to begin serving breakfast.
And for those of you who aren't aware, the VFW post, located at 21 Taylor Street in Littleton, now covers VFW members who reside in Acton, Boxboro, Harvard, and Littleton. I've had the pleasure of working with this post over the last few years, and they do a lot of great things for the surrounding communities. They're always looking for new members, so for anyone that may be interested, I suggest you reach out to them. I know we have Hal Baker, might still be floating around. He is the VFW post commander. For the last 4 days, the Acton Historical Society has been hosting a veterans exhibit at the Hosmer House Museum, located at 300 Main Street in Acton. This exhibit focuses on World War I artifacts and memorabilia, particularly items associated with Acton residents. For anyone who may be interested, the exhibit will be open until 1 p.m. today. As a veteran service officer, I am a town employee mandated by state law, a law that says there must be a veteran service officer for every town and city in the Commonwealth. We are the only state in the country that does this, and as a direct result, we lead the nation in providing state and federal benefits. The primary duty of a veteran service officer is to help veterans and surviving spouses with a state benefit known as Chapter 115 assistance. Now, hopefully most of the tables got a couple of little handouts. It's an overview of this Chapter 115 benefit and its eligibility requirements, and now I'll do my best to explain how this works. For a single veteran or surviving spouse whose monthly income is less than $2,023 and assets are less than $5,000, we can, at the very least, reimburse monthly medical costs. Your primary home, vehicle, and life insurance policy do not count as assets. Moreover, IRAs would be counted as monthly income and not assets. Examples of monthly medical costs we can reimburse include Medicare B that comes out of people's Social Security. It could be as high as $134 per month. Medicare D, any supplemental coverage such as MedX Bronze, prescription copays, hospital copays, and more. For individuals whose monthly income is slightly over the $2,023 income limit, we may be able to do what is called a medical spend down, at which point we would be able to provide a partial reimbursement of medical costs. A single veteran or surviving spouse whose income is significantly less than the $2,023 monthly income threshold may be eligible for additional financial assistance through this benefit. And for a married veteran, the monthly income limit for Chapter 115 assistance is $2,743, and assets should not exceed $10,000. I know I just threw a bunch of numbers at you, So for anyone who is unclear about how this benefit works, please contact my office. I'm here to help as best I can, but I'm an army of one in my office. My department just consists of myself, so that's why I'm reaching out to all of you here today. If you have any friends, family members, or neighbors you think may benefit from this, please reach out to them. This goes for Boxboro as well. I am temporarily covering the town of Boxboro's Chapter 115 cases as well. So that's all I have. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
Coast Guard. Navy. Air Force.
Hi, my name is Grace Zhang, and I'm one of the fundraising chairs for this year's Veterans Day breakfast, along with Connor Champney. First of all, thank you everyone for coming. This breakfast means so much to the students, and we truly hope you enjoyed it. And we also hope that you all come back next year. Secondly, we wanted to acknowledge the hard work of the National Honor Society members who helped fundraise. We also wanted to thank all the businesses and families who donated for their kind generosity. And finally, to conclude this year's breakfast, here are the Magical Singers performing America the Beautiful. Thank you.